Aries Ascendant as your lagna for the D9. Let's have a look at that and what happens when you have an Aries Ascendant in your D9 chart. So as you know, Aries is an independent sign. Mars is a very singular planet, it just literally works really well on its own. And it's quite an impulsive planet as well, and it's an impulsive and fast sign as well. So you normally find, even in your Rashi chart or the D1, if you have a planet in there, you actually make decisions to do with the signification of any planet in that house more impulsively than you would in the other sign. So it's a very fast sign. So obviously these people will be kind of like quick to sort of like maybe not even necessarily, just quick about everything that they do in the relationships, whether it's decisions, choosing a partner, anything like that. Obviously, you have to look and see where Mars goes as well, and also you want to know where Atmakaka planet is as well. But generally speaking, they are not going to be thinking so much about about things. But they're ambitious, because obviously it is an ambitious planet. They're ambitious and they want to achieve things, make things happen. And obviously there is always going to be an impulsive nature about Aries, just naturally, just the way it is. And also because Mars also rules their 8th house, there's always going to be ups and downs and things in relationships, naturally. And also, you got to think that Mars rules them, and Mars also rules their 8th house. 8th house will be the 2nd house from the 7th house partner. So it actually will be the nature of the partner as well, partner's family. So there will be some family secrets to go with that, with the spouse as well. And then if we go into the 2nd house from the ascendant, so be Taurus, you'll notice that obviously Venus rules, just like you would do in the normal Rashi, 2nd house and the 7th house. So they getting married actually increases their wealth if Venus is well placed. So that's an important thing for them as well. And also through their partner will be somebody who will be have social grace, will probably be, they like pretty, good looking spouse, and their family is dear to them and their spouse is dear to them, because the nature of Venus and these two signs, Taurus and Libra. And they also, their social standing will go up as well, because naturally Libra is a very diplomatic sign and is a sign of getting on with other people. Their communication with the spouse will be very important for them, because obviously, they, although they don't, Mercury and Mars don't get on, but generally speaking, the actual spouse will want the friends and, cousins and all of that to be involved, because obviously Venus is friendly with Mercury, whereas Mars isn't friendly. But that could actually, whereas the Aries Ascendant will not be that bothered really about friends and things like that, but actually the Aries Ascendant, their wives will be, and because Gemini being their 3rd house and it's ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is a gentle, benefic planet, they're not going to put much effort into communication with their spouse and friends, and this actually could cause issues in their relationship and with their friends as well. And then we can go on to the next planet, like for them, like the 9th and the 12th house is ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter is a friendly planet for them. So actually you'll notice that again, the spouse's family, because that 9th house is a 3rd house from 7th house, their spouse, and again that's a very sort of benefic planet. So again, the relation, there could be very little effort, because you really want malefics in the third houses, because it gives you the oomph and the energy and the effort to put into these houses. So so that again, there could be a little bit of loss of communications. Could be an issue with an Aries Ascendant, with the in-laws and with the partner and friends as well once they get married. Now, and obviously that could mean, because obviously Jupiter rules the 12th house of so there could be some losses there and everything. So if we now go to the 4th house is ruled by Moon. And so obviously the mother is very dear to them. And so they actually, they have an emotional connection with their mother. But the mother can be also annoying to them as well, because obviously Mars is debilitated in the 4th house, Cancer for them. But from the 7th house, Libra, you can also read 10th houses from that will be Cancer. So that will actually also show their spouse's career, And so they could actually be like counselors, so anything to do with, they could either be really great at home, bring domestic bliss into the household, or they could just be quite famous. They could be counselors, they could be teachers, all things to do with the moon as well. So you can read it from that viewpoint as well. The 5th house for Aries Ascendant is Leo. So Leo is again ruled by another independent planet, the Sun. So it goes to show that Leo is not the greatest sign when it comes to sort of like for the intelligence, because obviously 5th house is house of intelligence and creativity. So in order to be in a relationship, you need to be a bit creative, you need to put effort into things. And when it comes to a planet like the Sun probably thinks, well, I've got everything, they've got a little bit too much confidence, a little bit too much ego when they get married, and they don't feel as though they probably need to put that much effort and be creative about, like, let's go out together, I've planned this for, they could be a little bit too sort of like laid back about that, because they just think, just being, we don't need to make an effort, but actually you do, because you need to keep your relationship going. So you're not putting a lot of effort into communications. Now you're not putting into any enjoyment, because obviously 5th house is enjoyment and going out and having fun, partying. So they could be not putting that much effort into that. So that is where the planet that rules the intelligence is not necessarily that intelligent there, because it's just thinking that, well, I know best, I'm too overconfident. So that's not. So I would say, if you're Leo Ascendant in there, put the effort in, make sure you got date nights in with your partner or your wife, or husband, make sure that you got things going on, having fun, stuff like that. Because that, you remember that Sun then is exalted in the 1st house. So doing 5th house things actually makes things much more enjoyable. And then if we go now into Saturn rules our 10th and 11th house. So so you can see that actually marriage then enhances their sort of like how the world sees them, because it's house of career. And from Libra, that's their 4th house. So you can see that the actually what will happen is there's always this balance with the Aries Ascendant with home life and work, because they're workaholics and they need to look after their home as well. So there's this thing going on. Having said that, though, it also means that, they want to be secure and have a nice home, because that's their 4th house from Libra for them. And also the mother of the spouse, the mother-in-law, will be somebody quite important, will have good status at home. And she'll also, she will have, because also 2nd house from Capricorn will be Aquarius, and they'll have very important friends, social groups, and yes, so they will gain through, you know, there'll be sort of luck and all of that from the mother-in-law as well. So they got to be good on that level. So, but yeah, so these are the things you want to look at as well. So you know that, you know, their career also brings gains for them, and they have to look after their family as well. All right, so this is this is Aries Ascendant for you in the Navamsa. I'll see you on the next one. And just wanted to just say, actually, just thought of something else as well that I need to do that as well. For an Aries Ascendant, because they have Libra as their seventh house ruler, for them is so important for their happiness to actually look after their wives, because their wives can actually or their husbands really, so they will actually will hold the key to their happiness, because Venus owns second and seventh houses of not just money, but it will just give them a lot of happiness and a lot of money, and yeah, it will be really good for their social status as well. And yeah, so I think that's my message to Aries. And I'll just say, don't act until you think as well, because they're just so impulsive. That's it. So I'll see you on Taurus video. Thank you.